Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So pretty much, I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna be doing today. I honestly didn't even go to school today. As you guys seen from the last video, pretty much I felt like shit, and I still do. I'm pretty sure it's just a cold or the fever that I have, or not even the fever, it's just the flu. But at the end of the day, I gotta keep myself busy with this car, because I do have a deadline that I really want to have this car running by, and I'm still waiting on a bunch of parts, in all honesty. I'm still waiting for the harness, I'm still waiting for the intercooler piping to show up. But at the end of the day, I may change that right now, or I may just change it later on. But the reason why is because I really wanted to do titanium cold side and a hot side with the wastegate and the blow-off valve. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think I'm just gonna doing it out of aluminum now, so that I can have everything pretty much pre-bent in the shape that I need it on. But we'll get to that when we get to that. And also, I know I just said we weren't really gonna be filming like the whole fixing of the AC part, but at the end of the day, I'm just gonna fix it. So I'm gonna cut the radiator support a little bit so that I can make some. Let me go ahead and show you guys basically, so you guys can better vision of what is it that I'm exactly talking about. Let me grab my Monster real quick. You know, you gotta have that. But yeah, so at the end of the day, guys, what I'm gonna end up doing in this video pretty much is trying to cut this whole radiator support right here out. I'm gonna try to make it as flush as possible, straight, cut this section out, and there's really no need to do it, in all honesty. I'm being 100%, you know, transparent with you guys. There is real no need to do that. As you guys can see, we have plenty of clearance, but I'm gonna have to do it to this side over here. And honestly, I just rather make it all symmetrical on both sides, and that way it's the same on both sides. Also, I need to cut this section out here, and the reason why I gotta cut out that section here is because I am gonna be moving the condenser over one of these spots over this way. So basically, I'm gonna move it over to this spot, so that way it gives me a little bit of clearance for the intercooler to mount back onto my brackets. And that was one of the issues that I had. I didn't want to move the intercooler over to the driver's side, because when you look at it from the front, I really wanted to make it look like it's all even in the front of the car, and we're pretty close there. And so if I move it over to the other side, basically we're spot on with the whole intercooler fitting and everything. And that was the main goal. So pretty much what I'm gonna be doing right now is cutting this section out from here to here, so that way when we do move over the condenser over, this fitting right here does not interfere with anything here, because it'll give it the opening that it needs for this fitting to be able to glide into. And that was the issue that I was having when I had it originally there. And it was also because it was tweaked here. So off camera, like I said, I did zip tie it, and I basically just bent this down after connecting this other line over here and basically to the compressor to here. And we had a little bit of clearance, a little bit more clearance, just pushing it down. I am gonna, like I said, I am gonna be doing new lines later on in the future, but this is just right now so that I can pretty much keep progress on this whole car, because I don't have the money right now at the back to be able to just replace the lines. They are not cheap to make. They're actually a couple $100, and at the end of the day, that's a couple $100 that I can be using towards other stuff that I need to get this car going. And also what we're gonna be doing today, hopefully I can get to it, is reassemble the shifter mechanism. So as you guys do know, pretty much when I got the new stuff the new stuff powder coated, I did take my shifter mechanism housing to go get powder coated. Pretty much I got to clean up in the inside. I got to kind of like sand it in the inside, because it is a tight fitment. Also I got to put these brackets on it, because these are the ones that are going to be going onto the subframe. And there's also some other miscellaneous stuff, like, you know, the clutch fork, and also just miscellaneous brackets, just that way I can have it to give it some character. Because at the end of the day, I've always stated it, I want a clean engine bay, I want things to flow nicely, and I feel like these little brackets, in all honesty, that we put back in here with the vein gray, you know, powder coat, gives the car the character that it really needs and the look that I really envisioned of it having. So at the end of the day, guys, let's just continue seeing if we can make some progress. Let's get to cutting that part, and then also get to installing the injectors. And then honestly, we'll just see what else we get into in this video.
see the bitch swing home runs. I'm hitting and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? My strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, oh. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, oh. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Sorry guys, I thought I pushed record, but apparently I did not. So yeah. Alright guys, so pretty much as you guys can see now, we did open it up. I'm going to be sanding it down with the flap disc. Now, to smooth it all out as much as possible, I'm going to get rid of all this pretty much, and that way it'll be a smooth transition for the line not to have any cuts. Just like over here, we'll smooth all this out over here and make it just flow a lot better. Same thing goes for this side, so pretty much that's what I'm going to do now, and that way you guys can, I'll show you guys the final result at the end. Alright guys, so pretty much I took off the condenser. As you guys can see, now we have a smooth transition. I still got to pretty much flap disc that, sand it down, making sure that it has no like sharp edges so that we don't create any issues later on. Pretty much as you guys can see, you know, I got to do this side still. So this is what it kind of looked like before. As you can still see all the sharp edges, and now you can see the transition here. Just looks a lot cleaner, it's just a lot better. So I'm still thinking about whether I should cut this off. I may just cut this off here and follow this contour also, so that way it all matches. So I'm probably gonna do the same thing over here too. Follow this and just go into that little piece. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up on that after we're done doing everything that I need to get done. And also I need to change the battery out on the camera. What's up guys? So pretty much I've just been hammering down on this whole front end of the whole AC, intercooler, and the condenser, and basically the radiator. So as you guys can tell, pretty much everything is set the way it's gonna be. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to suck it up as the intercooler is still more to the driver's side, just because that was the original mounting spot. But in the bumper, it doesn't look so bad because I'm still counting in the factor of the charge pipes for the cold side and the hot side. Basically, that's the reason why I have to leave it like the way it is now. Because if not, I would have to open up that opening more, and that's just something I really do not want to do. I want to leave it as close as possible as to I have it now. I can still go over quite a bit, in all honesty. I can still open this up completely on this side, and that way it'll be closer to the frame rail. If I chop this off, it'll still have that much of the radiator support on that piece. But at the end of the day, I'm going to leave it like this because the charge pipes are going to be in the way, and pretty much the cold side and the hot side are going to take up that real estate in that section. And I think that is enough room for what we can run the piping through that section. If not, then I'll go ahead and trim it a little bit more. But at the end of the day, the goal is not to trim so much on one side compared to the other side. And I really don't want to chop any more over here, as pretty much we got this to fit perfectly fine now. As you guys see, I do have this zip tied downwards. I am going to put a bracket here to pull on it a little bit, or if, honestly, I may just leave it the way it is now, as it's not really bugging me anymore now that we have it this way. But I'm going to go ahead and throw the front end back on just to make sure that we don't have any interference with the fenders and pretty much anything else on this side. So if that fits perfectly fine, this is the way we're going to run it, and this is the way it is going to stay. Now we do have the intercooler mounted along with the condenser. Condenser has plenty of real estate, which is what I was aiming for, just so that way if anything did happen, did get rubbing or anything like that, basically it wouldn't have that chance. But now it's fully secure and we are set to go, and we'll go ahead and continue with putting on the fuel injectors on this, and then seeing if we can get started on the shift link, the shift selector. Alright guys, so pretty much front bumper is on. It needs a little bit of tweaking still. I have to tweak it up on this side more for some reason, but at the end of the day it could be just the bumper. At the end of the day there is no support in the middle of the bumper holding the bumper in place where it's supposed to be at. But at the end of the day, I'm extremely stoked the way this is coming out. I think what I'm going to end up doing is, once I do create the charge pipes and everything else, I'm probably going to weld on a piece of aluminum and flex it over, so that way it kind of looks like it's all even. It doesn't look too bad, but at the end of the day it just still doesn't meet my standards. But I can't really be picking this scenario, because at the end of the day I would rather have my AC unit than centered intercooler at the end of the day. I'll probably just paint it black, so that way it just blends in at the end of the day, and that way you won't even notice that it's there. But we got the bumper to finally fit without any issues. Of course the bumper is ripped on the corners, but as you guys can see now, pretty much the lines are ran. We have no tension on it whatsoever. We can move it up and down. It mounts in the correct location, and basically the fitment of it is pretty good now. I do got to add one little small clamp to it, which I do have up here. I just haven't put it on. But at the end of the day, I will be putting that clamp on. They're the hose clamps that I'm going to be putting on rubberized. So that will be going onto those lines, holding it in. But at the end of the day, you know, now we got a good fitment on the bumper. And that was my main worry throughout this whole thing, was making sure that this pretty much fit perfectly fine and we were able to not have any tension on the bumper. But now pretty much let me go ahead and remove the fuel rail. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the injectors and a little bit of lubricant so we can lubricate the seals on it, and now we can get them into place. I'm not sure what else I'm really gonna do. I'm probably just gonna end the video there, that way we can get another video out to you guys. But at least we did pretty much fix that AC system until we can get a new one made. There's some stuff that I still got to take the powder coating, which is going to be this line here. I'm going to take this line also to powder coat and have them repowder coat it. I'm going to take it to school first, and I'm going to chop this little end off here, and I'm going to go ahead and weld that shut. We'll clamp it, weld it, and then make sure that it's totally smooth, so that way it doesn't affect the appearance of the engine bay. And at the end of the day, I'm just really being picky on that section. And of course, I think what I'm going to do is still trying to clean up the rest of the stuff. I still got to look for a grommet that is bigger than this, because this is a 1.5 inch. So I got to look for a 2 to 2.5 inch grommet, so that way we can pretty much drill this hole open a little bit more, so we can get these wires to fit. It's mainly this plug that doesn't fit, and all it really needs is just very, very little opening. So I could probably just round it out, oval it out a little bit, so we can get that plug in there. And after that, guys, the harness pretty much tuck will be done. I'm actually going to reach out to my harness maker now and see what is going on with it, because I need that harness as soon as possible, so that way we're closer, make sure everything is ran the way we're going to run it, and we can tuck it the way we're gonna tuck that harness. But yeah, let me go ahead and pretty much go get the injectors and we'll get those installed also. Crazy to see this, guys. You know, I got little homie down here trying to scope out the build and tell me if it's pretty much cool, you know? He's praying on the build, bro. That's all I can say. Thanks for the support, buddy. So pretty much we already took off the fuel rail, and what we do have, as you guys already seen before, we do have the alpha injection. These are just 1,000 cc's. They do come with the clips and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and just install these and pretty much just end the video with that. Or I might just see what else I can get done. But as you guys seen, we fixed that whole AC crap that we had here, and now pretty much I really want to try to get this whole injectors and pretty much everything done. There's really no point in really doing it. I really want to do it so that way I don't have them just sitting around and next thing you know I lose them. So I would rather just have them in the engine, and that way they're there secure and they're just out of my way compared to being stored up in the corner. So pretty much let's just go ahead and install these, and yeah. So all I ended up using was pretty much an all-purpose grease just to lubricate the injectors, make sure that they slid in without basically getting caught up on powder coat or even just the edging of the manifold. So they're pretty much locked in now. I'm just gonna put these on now also so that I don't lose them, because we may have to change out the injector clips to run these depending on what the harness is that I end up getting, or how they end up making it pretty much. But yeah, pretty much injectors are in. It was an easy process, not hard, you know. Just make sure you guys use grease. But yeah, so basically now it's just hooking up back my fuel lines. Again, you know, I gotta see how this is all gonna work out, because at the end of the day, these lines, I'm just probably gonna get them remade again. It was a mistake on my end because I never took into the factor at the end of the day when it came down to this, that I am going all-wheel drive, and at the end of the day, the car is gonna have a fuel cell. So technically, these lines are not gonna work to my benefit at all as of right now, or anytime. So basically these lines, they really didn't cost me much. It was about, I think I spent like 75 bucks or 60 bucks to get them made through G&J, because I know them real good. And at the end of the day, they're just gonna make my new lines from the whole section here all the way back to the fuel cell. But again, we are gonna be using it temporarily as front wheel drive, so it's basically gonna be useful just for now. I'm gonna make another bracket to where we can slide this over. I'm probably gonna oval these out a little bit so we can move it over just a tad bit, but that way we can at least have a little bit of room to plug it in over there. So let me go ahead and connect the fuel lines again, and then that way we're pretty much done with it. All right guys, so pretty much all the fuel lines are connected back into it. Now the next goal for this next time is honestly gonna start buttoning up the rest of the fuel. So as you can see, I pretty much got to move this fuel filter over to the wall so that I can put the bracket, and that's where it's going to mount. So this is going to get cut downwards more, and I'm going to have to order a new fitting to go to the back. But that's perfectly fine because I want it to be back there anyways, out of the way. But as you guys seen, pretty much now we are set to go to continue making progress. You know, slow progress is better than no progress at all. And now, instead of having to wait later on to fix the bumper issue with the AC, I figured I'd attack it now and honestly just get that out of the way, so that way I know how to run things for this setup. Alright guys, so hopefully you guys enjoy that little clip of me running my fat ass around, you know, trying to avoid these goddamn street sweepers, man. Over here they're notorious, and it honestly sucks having so many cars to where you gotta move them and you gotta be, you know, always aware of when street sweeping day is. You gotta continuously check that schedule, because if not, like I was talking to the guy earlier, you know, when he pulled up, he just got a ticket for not being able to move one of his cars, but he moved the other one on time. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, we're screwed, you know, having so many cars. And he's a mechanic too, and he does the same thing, and basically he has to move his cars. But you know, I guess it's a thing we got to pay for having so many cars. But getting back to the car, man, you know, we pretty much got the whole AC system squared away already, the way it needed it to be angled. So I'm pretty happy of the way that came out already. I'm still gonna be putting that clamp on, as I stated before. You know, it's a 1-inch clamp that way, or yeah, one inch clamp. So I'm gonna see if I can get that put on, so that way it's mounted into that location and pulls that hose down a little bit more, just for extra clearance. But you know, now we do have plenty, and I mean plenty of clearance for the intercooler piping to pass through there. So we are going to be going with the 3-inch intercooler piping, and that way we'll get that routed through the whole thing. It's going to have a kind of a little bit of a weird transition right there with a bunch of pie cuts, but we'll get that taken care of at the end of the day. But you know, we also got the injectors pretty much put on. You know, these are the way it's going to have to be for now. They're going to be upside down this way. I originally wanted them up here, but they interfere with the fuel line. But at the end of the day, I'm fine with it. You know, I can still move it up if I want to and just have the little interference. But, you know, they are in now. They're going to be out of my way. Once again, you know, they are 1,000cc injectors, good for around 450, maybe 500 horsepower, depending on who my tuner is. But there is a guy up here that I'm really going to try to go with, and his name is Arminson. And basically, you know, he's the one to basically tune, and he gives you the power to be able to put down, and that way it's safe power, enough power to put down and not blow your engine. But again, guys, you know, engine bay is looking fire, in my honest opinion. You know, car is also coming on very, very well. You know, I'm loving the way the car looks. If you guys are loving the way the car looks, please let me know what's your favorite part about this car, and what do you guys look forward to in the future of this car. Is it the all-wheel drive, or is it just seeing it driving boosted all-wheel drive, and pretty much the new paint that we will be dealing with. Hopefully I get the paint within this next couple of weeks, so that way when it's time to pull out the engine, we can paint the engine bay. And since we'll have the engine out, we'll put the clutch back in, and we'll also do the Type S oil pump conversion for this engine. Because I am going to have to put a Type S oil pump conversion on here to be able to hold the power that we're going to be putting. This oil pump will not handle it at all. I was actually going to do the whole shifter mechanism, but I actually got to run to the store, and I really didn't want to make this video a lot longer than what it should be. So we'll probably pick that up on the next video, but I'm going to go grab a Dremel and the bits for it, so that way we can clear out the inside of it, so that way we have enough room to be able to put the bushings and everything back in it, and that way we can clean up all the powder coat that's in there. Because they originally weren't supposed to powder coat the inside of it, but they ended up powder coating the inside of it, as you can see right here. And then I got to clean up these edges, so that way we can get a good fitment. But at the end of the day, guys, I think this is where we're going to end the video at. I really want to just say thank you guys for tuning in. I know the video wasn't the most exciting, but at the end of the day, we did make progress, and progress is better than no progress in my eyes. And the same thing, you know, a bunch of my friends say, you know, even Dana, EF Static, you know, progress is better than no progress, you know, because if you're not wrenching in the garage, you're not even doing anything. So with that being said, guys, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. And honestly, hit that bell notification, so that when the next video comes out, you guys can stay awake. But again, guys, we'll catch you guys on the next time.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. Yeah. You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what